Hello, it's me James, and welcome back to another episode of Simply Survival. So, with very popular request, today we are doing a 0-tick cactus farm. This thing is going to produce 10,000 pieces an hour, and a massive shout out to Bedrock for this one. Again, I apologise if I got your name wrong, however, his link is going to be in the description. Please send him some love and let him know that the Jam fam has sent him. So, if you guys are interested in joining a free subscriber realm, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button. If you're liking the content that I'm making, please hit that like button as well. Again, the link to the subscriber realm is located in the Discord. And if you have not got Discord, do not fret. You can always add me on the Twitter. Or if you've not got Twitter, you can always add me on the InstaJam, and I'll be happy to get back to you through the DM there. So let's not waste any more time, and let's get straight on to the build. So the items that you are actually going to need for this build are simply as followed. You are going to need 3 redstone repeaters, 6 chests, you're going to need 6 sticky pistons, you're going to need 1 lever, you're going to need 6 normal pistons, I have no idea why I've got 5, you're going to need 1, you don't even need a stack of sand, you need 18 pieces of sand. You probably want to bring about 2.5 stacks of glass, not just 1 stack. You're going to need 3 hoppers, you're going to need about a stack of redstone, 7 redstone torches, you're going to need 6 pieces of cactus, you'll need probably about just under a stack of glass panes, and also I'd bring a couple of stacks of solid blocks as well. And finally, in addition to that, you are going to need a source block of water, and that is literally everything. Pretty light on resources, to be honest. So, secondly, you're going to want to find yourself a big enough area to actually build this thing. This thing is pretty big. However, I kid me not, I tell you now, this thing is really, really powerful. It's definitely worth building. It don't take all that long to build either. Again, like I said, you are going to need enough room to actually do it. So, first of all, you're going to want to grab your solid blocks and put them in the formation that I am doing right now. Again, it's a tiny bit confusing, but again, I'm going to step back so you can actually see the formation that I put the blocks before I do anything else. So, you want to obviously put 2 on the floor on top of each other and then go up on an angle like that. We're then going to come, if I can work this out, we're going to get rid of that middle one, so we've got like 3 blocks like that, okay, and then we want 2 crosses each side of that middle block, okay, so you'll see what I mean. Is that there's the first cross, and then we're going to go to the other side and do exactly the same and make the second cross, okay. So when we've done that, you should have a little pattern that looks a little bit like this. Again, feel free to pause the video so you can get that pattern exactly right. I know it took me a few goes to get it right anyway. So, then what we can do is actually grab our redstone repeaters and our redstone dust as well. But first, let's put our repeaters on. So, you're going to want to put them in these positions here. Again, what the hell went on there? Come on, 3rd time lucky. No, 4th time lucky. What's going on? I have no... There we go. Okay, so I have no idea what happened there. A little bit of a glitch. But yeah, you want to put both of your repeaters there. You're also going to want to grab yourself some redstone dust and place them in the position that I'm about to place them on these end blocks as well. But you will need to keep your redstone dust in hand for the next step. Like I said, redstone dust in hand, and place your redstone dust on both of those bottom blocks as well. At this point, we can actually get our torches involved. So basically, we want to put our torches on these top blocks like so. So you might need a little holder block just so you can stand on top, jump up, and there we go. That's 1, and we're just going to do the exact same on the other side. Again, we might need a holder block, and there's the second one. So that step is complete. So for this step, what we're going to want to do is bring the sides up 3 steps. And what I mean by 3 steps is we've got the first one with the redstone on at the end. We've got the second one, and then this one here would be the third one. We can then remove any unnecessary blocks, which would be those 2. And then we're going to do exactly the same again on the other side. This build is pretty much a symmetrical build. So when I do something on one side, the chances are we're going to be doing it on the other side as well. So just bear that in mind. Again, that is looking super good, super easy. Let's get on to the next bit. So the next bit, basically all you've got to do is link that line up in the middle. Super easy, super simple. And then once you've done that, we're going to bring out these lines 10 blocks. Now you will only have to bring them out 9 blocks actually, but I actually add one by accident, so bear that in mind. The first block is actually including your 10 blocks, so I've actually gone out 11 blocks, whereas you only need to go out 10 blocks in total. Okay, so after that, you want to place some more solid blocks in these positions. You want to go 1, miss 1, place 2, miss 1, place another 2, miss 1, and place 1. We're going to do that on both sides. Of course, we can get rid of my access block on the end of both sides, and we're going to do it on this side as well. So place 1, miss 1, place 2, miss 1, place 2, miss 1, place 1. There we go. That's looking super awesome. So now it is time to get our sticky pistons involved. So our sticky pistons are basically going to be going over the gaps to reach some sand. Okay, so we're going to place them here. So obviously it's facing the gap here, and we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. Again, it's a completely symmetrical build, so it's super easy. Once you've got one side in, you just do the same on the other side. Alright, so now basically what we want to do is add some sand behind each one of the pistons. Basically when these pistons get activated, they're going to reach out and grab that sand, and obviously because they're sticky pistons, they will stick to the sand as well. Right, next step, super easy, super simple. Basically, we're just going to link the redstone up both sides on these pistons, okay? You don't want to fall off like I did. It's literally what we're doing for this step. All we've got to do is make sure that these pistons have got a piece of redstone going into them, so they'll obviously get charged when we turn them on. Again, we're going to do that with both sides. Okay, so for the next step, we're actually going to start bringing down our switch. So we want to come under the build, destroy that middle block there, place a block there. You actually won't need to put that block on the floor, because what you actually want to do, because we're going to have a repeater on this block here, you want to bring this one out by 2, just like I'm going to do, and then put a block on the floor, and that's where your lever is going to be located. But you can bring this out as far as you want, but the reason we need 2 blocks here is so we can actually get a redstone active point into that repeater. Okay, if we didn't have the 2 blocks, the redstone won't link through a block, and it's important, obviously we have a switch to turn this on and off. So then you can just grab your lever and put it on like so. Super easy, super simple. Once we press those, the sticky pistons will go and grab the sand, which is exactly what. Okay, so important step, we need to make this a rapid fire circuit. To do this, we're going to come to the back, remove this block, and add a redstone torch inside this block. This will make this a full rapid fire circuit. Okay, so now what we're going to do is actually come on top of the build. We're going to grab our sand again and place 2 pieces on the necks of all the pistons. Again, that's 2 pieces on the necks of all the pistons, so that's 1 and 2. And obviously we're going to do that on the other side as well, the exact same. So we're going to get the neck of the piston, 1 and 2, and again 1 and 2. Finally, we're going to do 1 and 2. Next step. Okay, so the next step that we're actually going to do is actually start placing some solid blocks. So just place solid blocks in all the positions that I'm placing them now, on top of the pistons and also on top of the sand. Not on top of the double sand, just on top of the bottom ones like I'm placing. So we're going to do it on this side, 2 blocks here and 1 on top of that piston as well. Super awesome. Right, so next step requires us to actually place a few hold-up blocks, because what we need to actually do is place our normal pistons. So what we're going to do for this, you could actually in fact just place 2 holder blocks on each one of these pieces of sand. I have no idea why I placed 3, but you're going to want to go 1 above the sand, so when we do remove these holder blocks, the piston's not going to be touching the cactus whatsoever. Also, obviously, we're not going to be able to place our cactus, so you want to do that on every single one. There's that side. Let me just get round to the other side so I can do the exact same. Again, I have no literal idea why I'm putting 3. You can literally just do this with 2 blocks to save yourself some blocks if you so choose. Again, that's completely optional. I'm just going to put 3 just to be safe. And again, it doesn't matter. You can just, as long as you've got 1 block above that sand so we can place the piston, it really doesn't matter. So finally, I'm just going to place these final holder blocks on this one, and now we can actually get our normal pistons out, okay? And we're just going to place them on top of those blocks. So it's super simple. There's number 1. Let's get on this one for number 2. This one for number 3, and obviously all these pistons are going to be facing inwards because that's where our cactuses are going to get farmed into a water stream. So let's just place the final one, and that is all normal pistons added. So then you can actually go ahead and remove all of those blocks, those holder blocks that we just placed. Again, it's a tiny bit annoying, but it's just something you've got to do. It's one of those things. Just make sure you collect all the blocks, because these blocks may actually come in handy for you in the next few steps. So once you've done that, we're obviously going to need to charge those pistons somehow. So to do that, we're going to bring a the charge up. So basically, we're going to put a block on top of that torch, another torch on top of that block. We're then going to have to go over here. We want another block on top of that torch. Okay, so let's place another. Let me just get rid of this holder block. Another block on this torch, and then you're going to place yet another torch, and then finally you're going to place another block, and that'll bring it up to the perfect height that we require to charge those pistons. So we're going to do that on exactly the same the other side. So again, a block on top of that torch, another torch, a block on top of this torch, another torch, and then a block on top of the final torch. So once you've done that on both sides, we can then start adding our redstone to charge those pistons. So it's super simple to add the redstone. You might need to build yourself up a little bit so you're standing on top of that torch block. Once you're on top of this block, you want to go out another 2 blocks, and then you're going to want to come underneath, okay? Place a block underneath. You can get rid of that corner block, and then we're just going to take that all the way down the line so we can charge all of those pistons. So hopefully I can get on. No, okay, so I'm just going to nerd pole up to make this a little bit faster for you guys. So yeah, like I said, we want to jump on here. We're going to bring this row all the way down. And what we can also do as well, we can add our redstone to charge these pistons. Again, I have no idea why I went all the way down the other side. I mean, you could literally just do it from the side I was at. But not to worry, let's just get all that redstone in. And again, we're going to want to copy this step and do it exactly on the other side. So let me just go down on this nerd pole. Again, I'm actually going to grab myself some other blocks. Some other holder blocks, because I want to save these stone blocks for obviously the next step. Have I got any blocks on me? No, I don't think I have. I think I've got some dirt blocks in this chest over here, so I'm just going to grab some dirt blocks. This will make it a lot simpler for me. Again, I probably should have had these sorted out before I started, but not to worry, it's only another 5 seconds, you know, it doesn't really matter. Literally, so there we go. We're going to nerd pole up. We're going to go in line with this one. We're going to come out 2 blocks. We're going to go back down 1 and then place one underneath that block there, and then another one. Obviously, we can get rid of the end block because it's unnecessary. We're then going to nerd pole up so we're standing on the top and bring this line of stone all the way down so we can charge all of these pistons, okay? After that, again, finally, we can just link up the redstone so all of those have got a charge. Okay, so we're getting very, very close now. Basically, for this step, we're going to want to fill in the floor. You can do this with ice to make the items actually go faster into your hoppers. But basically, in line with the sand, the sticky piston and sand, you're going to want to make a floor just exactly like I'm doing. Again, it's entirely up to you what material you use. So once you've made the platform for the items to actually go into the hoppers, basically what we're going to do is we're going to stand on top of that platform and actually add our cactus. Reason being, if we add our cactus now, it will give us a good idea of where we can place the glass. Now, if we place the glass in the wrong positions, it will actually pop the cactus off, so that's why we're placing it now. again, like I said, now we can actually start placing the glass. So you want to come to the back of this build, place a few pieces of glass going 3 high like so. Again, actually, you might need to come 1 higher than that, but literally just follow me and where I'm placing the glass. Place them all on these bottom ones like so. We're going to do that all the way down both rows, okay, and we obviously want to make this the same height as the top pistons. So once you've done that, you want to go next to these pistons here. Again, you're probably going to need some holder blocks, so I'm glad I got that dirt now. I'm actually going to use my dirt as a holder block, and we're going to place a holder block on the side of the pistons, and then we're going to place our glass next to those, okay, so it's not actually touching the cactus. If it was touching the cactus will just pop off, whereas because it's above the cactus and we've got one like below the cactus is absolutely fine. It's not going to pop off. So we're going to want to do that all the way down on every single one, because we're actually starting to seal this up as well. So as you can see, we just need to go that side. Let me just quickly do this side here. So we're going to place these bottom 2 holder blocks on the side of these pistons, and then another couple pieces of glass. And then let me go around this side, get this final one done. Actually, you are going to need to do the end bits as well. I'll make sure to do that. I nearly forgot myself. So again, these 2 holder blocks and a couple pieces of glass. But first of all, obviously, you need to do the bottom ones. Do not forget to do the bottom ones, or else you might end up getting some lost cactus, and we really don't want that. So in addition to that, you do want to do the bottom ones, the end of the machine like so, but it's the same principle. Just place a holder block on the side of that piston, and then a piece of glass, and obviously the piece of glass underneath the top piece of glass. So you can see me do it exactly this side. You want a piece of glass in line with that sand, and then a holder block on the side of that piston with another piece of glass. And that is literally the first step of your glass placing complete. Again, pretty simple. Feel free to go back if you missed anything. Right, so now, this is why you are going to actually need a bit more glass. You're going to want to make a roof on this thing, okay? So the roof is going to go over the pistons. So see how I've gone in line with that piston there? It's going to go all the way across to the other side of the pistons as well, like I'm doing. Straight on top, super easy, super simple. And obviously you want to make sure you have enough glass, because I actually managed to run out of glass somehow, so again, make sure you've bought enough glass. That's why I said instead of bringing 1 stack, you're probably best to bring about 2 stacks. Again, I've just got to do 1 extra line on that other side just here. Let me just get those blocks in. But you can see the overall shape of the roof, how wide the roof needs to be. It's got to go over those pistons, or I'm pretty sure you actually start to lose stuff. And let me just bring this front bit here. But I actually, yeah, we are definitely going to run out of glass. So we are actually going to need to grab some more glass. But what I'm going to do is just skip this bit entirely for you. Obviously, I'm pretty sure you get the idea. You just want to cover this roof up like so. In addition to that, you also want to do these front blocks here. Make sure you've got a holder block there and just cover it there. This way, you're not going to get any bits falling out the front. Again, that's pretty important in my opinion. So after you've done that, we're pretty much about there, okay? We're going to place our water blocks in the back. Again, you can place 3 or 2, it's completely optional, and it will come to this line here. You then want to remove these stone blocks, and you might want something to stand on, because obviously there's water pushing you off the edge. So once you've got something to stand on, grab yourself some hoppers, and then you're going to need some holder blocks to place them into, but that is where our chests are going to go, where that dirt is. So right now we need to actually remove this dirt. Again, I will use a shovel, a spade shovel. I get those two mixed up all the time, even though it's obviously got to be one of them, right? So yeah, once we've done that, we can actually place our chests on the end. Super simple, super easy. The reason being why we're having 3 chests and 3 hoppers, because hoppers can only hold 9,000 drops an hour, whereas this is going to produce 10,000 drops an hour. So that's why we need 3 different hoppers with 3 different double chests, so we can actually get all of our loot, okay? So we don't want any bits getting lost or anything like that, so it's important for us to actually put 3 chests there. And then what we can do, finally, this is actually the final step before we can actually turn this on, is glass panes. Now, the reason we want glass panes is because it goes so powerful. These pistons will hit the cactuses so powerfully that it will just fling off to the other side, and then you might have the chance in losing that piece of cactus. So the glass panes are just basically acting like a barrier, so we can actually make sure they all go into our water stream, which again I think is a pretty neat idea. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you go and check the original creator out in the description. His channel is super awesome, to be honest with you. A massive thumbs up to him. So let's get our final piece of glass panes in. Okay, so we're going to obviously have 3 rows. This is the final row of glass panes. Okay, again, make sure you don't hit any of those cactuses, else they're obviously going to pop off. And I think that's a wrap. We've pretty much done it. So now what I'm going to do is just have a little clean up down here, grab any blocks that I've left on the floor. I'm also going to fill this hole in because this hole will proper annoy me. And now is the moment of the truth. We can actually turn it on and I can show you actually how powerful this thing is. Believe you me, this is one of the best cactus farms I've ever seen on the game. Again, you're going to want to build this as soon as possible and hoard that cactus, because I've got a strong feeling they will get rid of this in the new update. However, fingers crossed they don't, but just look at all of that. Look how many cactuses we're actually producing every second. This is crazy, right? Again, I want to say a massive thank you to the creator. I don't want to try and pronounce his name again, but this link to the his link is in the description. Again, I fully couldn't speak there for some reason. Again, I'm just going to stand here for a little while and AFK to gain myself some cactus, because obviously these cactuses are real good. You need these bad boys in your world, and not to mention this farm itself, you are going to want to build this. Believe you me, this thing is really powerful. Just look how many cactuses are being produced behind me. But I am actually going to have to go. We've also got some angry pillagers right behind me, and I have no idea why they're not shooting, and they're all standing still. This is crazy. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, I will catch you on the next one.